Tracking the news at 5:30, a new man in the Hunt family is taking the reins of the highly successful real estate business. Charlie Hunt, on the end there, is now the CEO of Hunt Real Estate Corporation.
And his dad, Peter Hunt, will continue as executive chairman. We have both men joining us tonight to talk about this transition as the fourth generation Hunt now leads the company. Okay, gentlemen, who would like to start first on the past, the present, the future? All the above.
Let me tell you a little about why. First of all, there's a few reasons. Number one, we have been putting in place the right people in each of our companies right now, and we're trying, number two, to try to move the organization to younger at heart and younger in age. So, and that begins obviously at the top of the organization. So I've been around for a while, so I think it's maybe time to see what the next generation will do.
Pass the torch, yeah.
Charlie, your great-grandfather, and his name was also Charles, correct, started this company in 1911.
That's correct.
How does it feel taking over for something that has been in your family for 4 generations now?
Well, it's really an honor to be able to be the fourth generation, which is a very low statistical probability in a family business. So it's really an honor to be able to be here.
Yeah.
And you were just hearing your dad say that he's given you the torch here to carry it into the next generation. What do you see that envisioning like? What do you think that the next chapter is for Hunt Real Estate?
Well, our company has been one of innovation in the real estate brokerage space, and all of our different companies, mortgage, insurance, title, really since our inception in 1911, and we expect that to have to continue in order to keep up with the times and stay ahead of the market.
Yeah. 4 generations ago, real estate in Western New York was completely different than it is today, obviously. When you started at the company, Peter, totally different than it is today. What are the largest changes you've seen in your tenure at Hunt Real Estate in the Western New York market specifically? And by the way, you are a company that is not just here in Western New York, although you are based here.
Well, number one, marketing. When I started, there was a newspaper. There were television shows.
Yeah.
Now there's ubiquitous social media. There's all forms of getting to people, and anyone can be a star these days, as you know, through social media. So we've had to adapt principally in that regard to communicate with the public. Charlie, of course, is much better versed on this than I am. He headed our marketing department for a while as we were building kind of a new infrastructure so that we could adapt to the way people are buying and selling everything today.
Yeah.
And with inflation these days, we were just reporting earlier today on the affordability crisis, and there are affordability issues here locally. How does that affect the housing market, and how does that affect how you, in fact, do reach out to buyers and sellers?
Well, as my father said, we've had to completely shift our marketing dollars away from more traditional and to what now has become the more traditional, which is digital. Affordability is a problem in this country. We've already seen some parts of the country starting to soften because the prices have gotten too high to keep up with affordability. It is a pleasure to see that, at least to some degree, there's some conversations going on around some ideas to help ease that affordability. Nothing's really come to bear yet, but hopefully there will be some loosening in the affordability.
The first-time homebuyer age has risen over the years. Yeah. Do you know exactly what the age
40.
is? 40 for a first-time homebuyer. That is unbelievable.
Not only the age, but also the number of the population, the buying population that is buying their first home. It was 26% not in 2021. It's now closer to 17%. So we're seeing a decrease in people able to get into the market for the first time, and they're coming in at a higher age. This is not a particularly good trend, which is why you're seeing, as Charlie points out, discussion of affordability, even up to the President of the United States.
How has that impacted your business in general? How have you surged through this tough time in real estate and affordability in general?
Well, it's an interesting question. The selling population is aging as well. So the people that are moving, the boomer population is really the primary selling market right now. Unfortunately, they're selling an asset that's more valuable now, which is dragging that average first-time home buyer age up because they have to have the means to buy that house. Just was, I think 14 years ago, the average age of the first-time buyer was 28.
Wow.
Yeah. What are some of the things that you would like to see have happen to try to address those issues? Would you like to see new builds? Would you like to see investments into areas of the city or areas of Western that are not getting that type of investment?
I think there's a few things that have to happen. I was at a conference last week in Arizona on housing, new housing and affordability. And basically what the speaker said was, we're up against a wall. The cost of materials has everything but gone down, I should say. We have labor problems in the construction business right now, all over the place. And a place like Western New York, we've got a large shift in labor to the new stadium, for example. It's harder and harder to get contractors. So, and the number of new houses built in Western New York is radically down from where its high was years ago. So, and the other thing that mystifies people is they drive around the community, they see pieces of land. Why can't we build houses there? Well, there's zoning, there's infrastructure, there's permitting, there's town regulations and everything else that goes into that you have to sift through to get a project done. You can point out the inner city, and this is something where I think there is opportunity. In the city of Buffalo, we've engaged them to discuss really what we can do with the thousands of lots that are owned by the city or are owned by private individuals that are vacant right now. The infrastructure's in place, and so our objective would be to help get houses built there.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much. It's nice to put some faces to those yellow signs that we see all over Western New York, and we've seen them since 1911 as well. Thank you both.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, gentlemen. All right,
Appreciate
best of
it.
luck moving forward.